Hi and welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to do more of a hands-on review of the MODX6 Plus and later on I will play through some of the presets. But the first thing I'm going to do is just go through the kind of basic controls and the layout. I hope you enjoyed the live performances. Sax on the fly and the green flash. Very, very good for live performing. Possibly better than the MPC key, I think, which is kind of what I'm comparing it to. Well, I'll start off from the left and work my way over. So you've got the usual pitch bend and mod wheels, and these have been upgraded for the Plus. Apparently they are better, but in my view they're still not great. Certainly not as good as the MPCs. They got master volume, then you've got your USB volume for monitoring. You've got, so this is the AD input, so you've got your gain and you've got on off. You've got two assign buttons, assign 1, side 2, and then this is the section for the motion sequencing and the ARP. So you've got motion sequence hold, ARP on off, motion sequence on off, the motion sequence trigger and the octave transpose buttons. And then up here you have the kind of four lanes, as it were. So you've got 4x4, so these control depending on what you select. So the first one is tone. So if I kind of go into the screen, if you can see that, this will adjust the four parameters at the top there, and you get a control number there. So they default to 64, which is 50%, and then you can adjust these accordingly. So they default to cutoff, resonance, pan, and portamento. And the second row is the effects. So you've got attack, delay, release and reverb. And then the third row is the EQ. So you've got low, mid F, mid and another mid, and then high. And then last is the ARP MS. So you've got, which is motion sequence. So you've got your swing, ARP gate time, the motion sequence amplitude and the motion sequence shape. And again, you can adjust these. So, so that's quite cool. And then you've got your other assign buttons. So you can actually assign 8 parameters using these knobs, and you can use it as part 1. If you click it again, it goes to part 2. So it goes, so the first one is 1 to 4, and then the second one is 5 to 8, and then you can assign those to different things other than these kind of set parameters. This button will adjust the parts. So you've got parts 1 to 4 and then 5 to 8, and again these are kind of default to the volume. So this has only got 2 parts, so you can see it is moving up the volume there and there. Also can use these for the operator's FM engine. So you've got 1 to 4 and 5 to 8 for the operators. If this was an FM patch, you could adjust those as well. And then you've got your scenes, and again 1 to 4, 5 to 8, and depending on how the preset has been set up, there could be 4 scenes, there could be 2 scenes, there could be 8 scenes. It depends purely on how they have programmed the preset. And then this is your main super knob assigned to it. Then you will adjust that accordingly, and let's say I have got a foot switch for that as well. You've got your play buttons, you've got reverse, forward, record, stop and play, and then you've got the rhythm pattern, so you can go in and select rhythm pattern, and I'll have a look at that later on. And you've got loads and loads of kits, and you can just page down and keep paging down, and there's loads and loads of kits in different genres. So you've got things like real drums, EDM, trap, hip hop, and dub, more EDM, down-tempo, electro, psychedelic, and even within each preset there is other variations as well, so that is pretty good. And then you've got control assign button as well. If I go back to the category, you can use this to scroll through the presets or move other items that are on screen, as well as the cursor. So you've got a long down, back and up cursor, and then you've got a yes, no button and an exit, enter for kind of renaming, and that is also your tap tempo button as well. This is your main performance home, and it cycles through 3 pages. You've got page 1, page 2, page 3, and it shows you the breakdown of what makes up the patch. So this is basically keys FM piano and piano acoustic, and then you've got your live set menu. So if I go onto this patch and try and use the scroll wheel in live set, a lot of the features are switched off, so that you don't accidentally change a patch kind of mid performance. So you have to kind of use either the cursor or just touch on the patch. So that's good, and it comes with quite a few live sets. So you've got Best of MODX1, Best of MODX2, you've got Spiralizer and Synth, Motion Synth, FM, Motion Control, Keyboard 1, Keyboard 2, Organ, Synth 1, Synth 2, Synth 3, Orchestra, Guitar Bass, Perk, Drum Perk, and then that's it, and then you've got another live. So you can create your own as well. And then you've got your category button, so you've got, you can pick your banks up here, and then you've got favorite presets, user, and then I've got the CS80, the Montage Expanded, and the Bosendorfer loaded in, and then you've got subcategories, so you can go to say piano chord, and then you've got analog, warm, bright, choir, rock pop, hip hop, electronic, and jazz world, and then you've also got an init and some that you can actually assign yourself. And like I said, you can just scroll through these pretty quickly as well. And then you can either view them by default, name or date, and then you can, very easy to set the favorites. You've just got set there, and it'll put a little star in the name. Other, you've got utility quick setup, you've got part select, mute solo, you've got addition, store, shift, and edit compare. Like I said, there's not, you know, it's not like the Montage where you've got just a sea of buttons on this side. So it's a bit simpler and easier to get your head around. So quite good to start off with this and then work up to the Montage, I would think. The keyboard is okay. It's quite light. It's certainly not as good as the MPC or my S49 Native Instruments MIDI controller, but they're kind of hollow at the back. So underneath here, that there's not really much weight to it. When I was doing the live performances, they actually, you know, they do play nice, they're quite responsive. They do have velocity, but no aftertouch. That is kind of a brief overview of the controls and the layout. Some of the best things that I like are the faders. So we've got which the MPC does not have. So we've got faders for volume, and I quite like that. And obviously using it for operating the FM synth. And then the whole thing, the whole super knob thing is just pretty amazing. Each preset has an icon. It'll tell you which engines are being using. It'll tell you if it's the AWM or the FX, and also if it's got purple at the end and it says SSS, then it means that you can seamlessly switch between any patch that has that SSS on it. So if you press down a key, it will retain that note until you take it off, so you can switch from a patch. So you can keep one patch going, switch to another, and it will keep playing that note or chord or whatever until you take your finger off, so you can be playing another patch completely in this part of the keyboard. And it is pretty good, and I will show you that in action as well. I'm going to get this hooked up to Logic, and I will play some more presets. So I'm going to play through some of my favourites, and I'm going to use the Audition to give you a better idea of what some of the pianos, because I can't play the piano, give you an idea of how good some of these sound, and then I will play some kind of showing you the seamless switching at the end. So I'm just going to go through a few of the ones that I favorited and kind of a cross section of the kind of genres. So this is the first one I've done. This is called the CFX Concert. And you can see that the super knob is doing its own thing, and it's obviously got a motion sequence on that as well. So that's rather nice. Lead feedbacker. So yeah, pretty good, pretty good for guitars. I have to say, there's some cracking guitars. There's also there's a bass one. This is called New Grunge Bass. So you can see the amount of motion sequencing that was going on there. So it's pretty crazy, some of the Super Knob stuff. So it's called Trigger Horizon. And that's the rest. Obviously, I have favorited quite a few pads. There's Ethereal. Emerald Forest, which is a AWM. Hypnosis, what's hypnosis? Pretty cool. Pianos are quite superb, because one of the best things about this as opposed to the MPC is that obviously the acoustic stuff has been sampled from Yamaha's own instruments. So obviously Yamaha make pianos, flutes, violins, lots of other instruments. So the acoustic sampling is really, really good. If you watch some of the Mike Patrick videos on Andertons, he kind of goes through, in fact I'll leave a link to the one, he does one on the Montage where he plays some of his favourite piano and flute patches, and like I said, he does a much better job of showing them off than I ever could. This is exactly the same sound engine as that you get in the Montage, so they will sound just as good. So this is full concert grand. If only I could play like that. There's some really nice guitars, which is really probably the most difficult thing to actually get a synthesizer with decent guitars. I don't think I've actually ever had like any real good guitar patches on a synth. There's some plugins. I mean, some of the ones on Native Instruments plugins are good, but not on an actual hardware. So we'll see what this one sounds like. This is Nylon Slide Velocity. This one's Quadra Analog. Cold Days in May. Imperial Digipad. So yeah, if we go back to the live set, and I'm going to show you some of this scene switching, if I can remember which ones work quite well. FM Spectral Spheres, Granular Motion and Ice World. So I'm going to kind of show you how it works. So I'll put my headphones on. So this is Spectral Spheres. And you can see the sounds like it's on the cutoff. Right, so if I hold this note, switch to granular motion, so that's going to hold the spectral spheres on that note for as long as it... Then I can hold granular motion, switch to ice world, and then switch back to FM Spectral. That is seamless sound switching in a nutshell, and it is pretty flipping good, I'll tell you that. That is a kind of a bit more in-depth look at the MODX6 Plus features, the controls, and some of the presets. So thanks for watching, and as usual, if you are enjoying the videos, please like, subscribe, share, comment, and I will see you in the next one.